Thanks for staying with us. We'll start the newspaper review with The Nation. Major headline: Banks, experts okay CBN's policy on recapitalization. Don't threaten Fubara with impeachment. Geregu power plant's capacity raises to 1,300 megawatts. Tinubu for fires inauguration as Senegal president. Macky Sall bows out. Ayedatiwa disowns 273 aides appointed by commissioner. Zenith wins Global Finance Bank Awards, Best Bank Awards. Electricity tariff hike likely as gas to power price rises to $2.48 US. What stories do we have in The Nation?
So I have Senator Ningi's story.
Okay.
The Senate's the head of the Committee on Media and Public Affairs, that's the chairman of the Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, said that the Senate are still on a break. He was addressing press who were asking questions about Ningi's letter. You know, Senator Ningi is the senator who alleged padding of the budget. Said there were two budgets that was is being executed by the executive and one passed by the House, which he said was padded. And so the Senate had summoned him on the floor of the House to either rebut his allegations or, substantiate them. He apologized for the statement, but the Senate, some other senators moved that he be suspended, and he was suspended. So he got his lawyers, Femi Falana, to write to the Senate president, insisting that he is reinstated or that he will proceed with legal actions against them. Now, press men were asking the Senate chairman on the Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, and he said that the Senate was still on Easter and Eid break. They will be resuming on the 16th of April, and that when they resume, that is when they will address the issue. But when the Senate president was returning from the, the UN assembly that he attended, that's the 148th meeting of the Interparliamentary Union in Geneva, he was asked, and he said that when the Senate resumes on the 16th of April, those issues will be resolved. He says it is a parliamentary decision, and a letter has not yet reached him. But Senator Ningi is one of us, according to him. Okay, let me say in his words. He says, it is a parliamentary decision. I have not seen the letter yet, but Senator Ningi is one of us. I believe that in a few days, he will join us. There is no problem. It will be resolved amicably. The Senate is one family. That was the stand of the...
We are together. Yeah. So I have a story here, the major headline. We remember that on Thursday, the CBN released the circular on review of minimum capital requirements for commercial banks, merchant and non-interest banks. And they had increased the minimum capital for commercial banks with international affiliations to 500 billion capital. Commercial banks with national authorization have 200 billion capital. Commercial banks with regional license, 50 billion, and others also, which included merchant banks, 50 billion, non-interest banks with national licenses, 20 billion, non-interest banks with regional licenses, 10 billion minimum, and all of that. So the recapitalization policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria has now finally received the backing of deposit money banks, which they are the ones that are required to increase their capital base. And experts are talking about it, analyzing it, and saying that the policy should be given a thumbs up. And but they are cautioning that the implementation should not be done in a disruptive manner so as not to rupture the economy. So the banks together have all endorsed the policy, which has mandated them to shore up their capital, and they are going to extend it. There's enough time for them to come together if you decide to sell or you decide to put capital together till 2026. So they have enough time to sort that out. And I'm happy that all the banks are in agreement with this. Any other stories?
Yeah, I have don't threaten Fubara with impeachment. PDP wants lawmakers. Rivers State chapter of the People's Democratic Party yesterday told the 27 lawmakers of the House of Assembly that they lacked the legitimacy to impeach Governor Siminalayi Fubara. The All Progressive Congress lawmakers had on Saturday threatened to commence a fresh impeachment proceedings against the governor if he continued to allegedly breach the 1999 Constitution and the state laws. The lawmakers, whose position statement was read by Speaker Martins Amehule, said they must not forget that we swore an oath of allegiance to the Constitution to do the needful, including the impeachment of the governor, as a last resort. So if it becomes a last resort, we will not hesitate to do so because no individual is bigger than Rivers State, including the governor himself. They also accused Fubara of failing to honor all the truths, that was reached when the President Bola Tinubu conveyed them in Abuja, and that he has been running the state without an approved budget. Tinubu's intervention in October has saved the governor from being sacked by the legislators who are loyal to the immediate past governor of the state and Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike. So we all know what's been going on in Rivers State, the back and forth with the current governor. I just feel that they're not really giving him room to actually do anything and lead. They should give him the space. It's his tenure. Allow the man
to do the work.
Let him do the work. You're distracting him from doing the work. Instead of him focusing.
And later he come back and
say he's not doing anything. So the back and forth is too much. Allow the man breathe. Let him work. Let him have time to even process and and put into action everything that he has said he was going to do. You should give him space.
So I want to take the electricity tariff story because I know Nigerians have been agitating and clamoring that they shouldn't increase the electricity tariff, but it's like people there's no choice. It's going to happen. Wow. Why? The Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority has yesterday announced the increase for the price of natural gas. And they said they've increased it. This price has been the same since 2021. The price has been the same since 2021, and it was $2.18. That's $2.18 since 2021. And the Gencos are complaining that they pegged their price based on $2.18. However, now the price has been changed to $2.42 to about $2.50 to $2.92. With this change in price, it is not possible for Gencos to maintain the same price they are currently producing, serving power. They said that the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission had already come up with a framework, a financial framework called the multi-year tariff order. And in that multi-year tariff order, they had written down that the price for gas coming to the Gencos will be $2.18. Now, in April, based on this announcement, the price of gas will be coming to them at $2.50 to $2.92 per cubic feet. So they can't sustain the current price. So there is likely going to be a change in price of electricity. Please, I have a question. Can we see the electricity we are going to be changing price for? Because yesterday,
we're not even having it at all.
I was sweating
wow.
Because I didn't know they would take light. Our light now we're not even seeing light.
We're not seeing light at all.
It was really, really bad. So if we want to hike the power, can we please see the power we want?
Pay for it and see it, yeah.
Exactly.
Makes more sense. Let's move on now to The Punch. Major headline, Discos make 1 trillion amid grid crisis. Unmetered customers hit 5.8 million. Discos grew revenue by 30% in 2023. Overbill customers despite grid collapses. Electricity tariff hike looms as federal government raises gas price. NEC vows more sanctions over estimated bills. Tinubu African leaders grace Senegal president swearing in today. OPEC oil output plunges as Nigeria and Iraq slash exports. NEC sits over state police as governor play forest guards. Ex-governor's trial show EFCC won't spare anyone. This is according to Olukoyede. Easter, fun seekers flood parks, beaches amid tough times. Presidential nod, Ondo APC governor aspirants beseech Abuja for Tinubu's endorsement. Please go after hoodlums for raiding night bus and robbing passengers. Zenith Bank extends win as Nigeria's best bank. What stories do we have in The Punch?
So this is basically just an article, basically just stating the obvious. The Punch reports that the April 28th governorship primary elections that will be happening in Ondo State has made intensified visits compulsory for presidential for the governorship candidates in the Ondo April 20th governorship primaries for the APC. And all the political parties in Ondo State now are preparing for their primaries in various capacities. INEC has fixed April for all the political parties in the state to conduct their primaries. And the commission also scheduled November 16 this year for the governorship poll, since the rigorous preparation by politicians and parties towards winning the elections. Of course, as expected, people are traveling to Abuja to see if the president can endorse either or anybody who they believe that such endorsement will, of course, cost the person to victory in the primaries. So that's basically what that was about.
Okay, we'll do a short break now. When we come back, we continue the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.